Tracy T. It's a fabulous Friday. We made it through another work week. How are y'all doing? First of all, let me just give you a minute to get in here because I want to know how you're doing. I think that's important. That's number one. How are you doing? It's a it's a beautiful day here in Memphis, Shelby County. I have reported rain or liquid sunshine, as I call it. We've had cold temperatures, like the temperature has significantly dropped, right? And I don't know where you guys are. I know some of my friends who are in the upper northern part of the states, in the upper Midwest. You guys are like really having, it's not even truly fall, it's more like winter. Well, what I consider winter, it's in the 50s here. And I was talking to my sister, who is so silly, y'all. She's so smart, but she's also equally silly, and said, no, I have to have the heat on now. My nose is running. People think I have COVID, which she doesn't. But hilarious. Yeah, so it's cold. Okay, it's chilly. I'll be fair, it's chilly. But how are y'all doing? It's lunchtime. It's Friday. We made it. I am so grateful to be here with you. I'm so grateful you're here with me. And we're going to have a real quick conversation today. You know, I usually do 3 things in 30 minutes when I'm here by myself. But let me pre-qualify and say first, my sincerest condolences out to the person who was scheduled to be my guest today, Yolanda Jeffries Crump, who is the owner and founder of Bougie Wild, was scheduled to be my guest today. Unfortunately, she had someone that was very close to her, her best friend, husband had passed, and so she is speaking. No, I'm sorry, that's not true. You know it's bad. Hey, I'm not all. I love you. It's really sad that when you have now people there's so many numbers of people that are dying that you cannot keep up with who the relation is to the person that died. The person that was scheduled to be my guest today did experience a loss. It was not her best friend's husband. That was another friend of mine who lost her cousin's husband died of COVID. This person, Yolanda Jeffries Crump, had a best friend of hers died, and so she is speaking at her funeral today and cannot make it, and we'll get her rescheduled. But Bougie Wild, if you want to know more about Bougie Wild until she comes on, feel free to go to her website. It's bougiewild.com. Bougie, Bougie wild.com. And so I'm looking forward to getting her rescheduled as part of the extended series of my showcasing Black-owned businesses. Today, I want to cover, I guess I will cover 3 things, but they're all related to voting. And I want to first thank you because I have been pressing upon you so consistently to get registered to vote, to check your voter's registration, and then to make sure that you're informed and get the information you need, and then exercise your right to vote. We have had a tremendous outpouring of votes. We have a record number, I dare say. I'm no statistician, so I can't tell you what the official count is, but I can tell you that young adults, God bless you, I'm so grateful to be able to say this, have come out in record numbers and voted early in states where it's available. And voting here in Shelby County, Tennessee ended yesterday. I have, and I think I've told y'all this, family members that I have been really imploring to vote. It's interesting, in the young demographic I have one cousin who is actively engaged and is verbal and active with having fantastic verbal volleys with me, which I love. And then I have another cousin who is informed, who is registered, and I just can't quite get to the polls. And so y'all send me some positive vibes, because I need to find the right words to encourage, the right words to motivate and implore that cousin to go ahead and get that vote in. It's not too late for you. I know you know I'm not going to call your name, but you know I'm talking to you now, baby girl. I need you to go to the polls. I need you to vote. Early voting is ended here in Shelby County, but you can still vote on November 3rd. So I'm counting on you. We need your vote. Your family members need your vote. And for all the love that you have and your wonderful, warm, big heart, it is going to be a blessing for me and for our other family members if you do exercise your right. So, for those that have some trepidation, I want to talk about this for a second, because this was part of the verbal volley I did with my other cousin about Trump versus Biden. It's Burger King or McDonald's is what she said, and I get it. But now here's the thing for me. This election truly for me, and I'd love to hear your input on it. This election for me has come down to this. It's good versus evil, period. What is good for the country and what is evil with the country. That's how I look at this right now. And while there may have been some things that were said and done by Biden that people of color, specifically black people, may not be able to appreciate, I'm not in a position where I'm going to defend that. What I am in a position is to say here now, right now, we have got to get Trump out of office. It's as simple as that. There is no way that we are in a position where we can afford to have another 4 years. We can't have another term with this man. This man is divisive. You know what? I don't even have to go over there, do I? Y'all tell me, because I'm going to focus on the positive. What I'm going to do, see, it's a slippery slope. That's how it works. It'll drain you out of the positive focus. It'll shift your perspective. And so I'm intentional. I'm being mindful and meaningful right now. I'm going to shift the focus, and I'm going to say that I am confident, based on the numbers, that on Tuesday, because we have 4 days left, y'all, we can get this thing done. For those that are in states that still have early voting, I encourage you to go out and early vote. And let me say this. This will be the second thing of my three things for 30 minutes. We found out, because I told y'all I serve as a moderator on one of the Facebook groups that's connected to the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris campaign, happily serve. But there has been an issue, and we've been talking about this and talking about this and talking about this. Yes, D, a course correction is what 2020 is. We need an absolute course correction. And not only do we need a course correction, we need to take, you know how when they're doing construction on roads and they have the signs up that say the road is closed, and sometimes the road is closed because it's being repaired and you have to redirect yourself. Well, what we need right now is for that road to be closed, and we need that road to be closed permanently. Okay, this needs to be one of those times where the road is closed because it is literally going to be demolished, and then a new road will be paved. That is what we need, an absolute course correction. You are so right on the money there. And hey, how you doing, darling? I'm glad to see you. So listen, we are in a position now where we talked earlier in the voting season about absentee ballots and what happens with the people that had absentee ballots, and because we knew that there was no way for them to be hand delivered. Remember we talked about this? Well, the Board of Elections had talked about or shared rather information on their website that they could be mailed in the USPS or FedEx or UPS. Well, you and I both know, and if you don't, let me tell you, you can ship FedEx and UPS all day long to anything but a post office box. So in Tennessee, the only address they have available for you is a post office box. So that is kind of one of those, you can do it, but you really can't. We want to put it on the paper saying that sure, it's available and you can do it, but you really can't. Okay, so the one thing that I think, and I think this existed, I don't think this was an outcry or a response to an outcry for people who needed to deliver them in person. But I want to tell you this, that for the state of Tennessee, and again, I'm only going to speak to what I know, and what I know is for the state of Tennessee, I posted this yesterday, today's Friday, maybe Wednesday. I posted this and said, you have the opportunity now in each county in the city. There are 95, I'm sorry, in the state. There are 95 counties in the state of Tennessee. Each single county has one designated post office. Okay, let me say this again. In the state of Tennessee, I can't speak to any other state because this is what I researched as a moderator. And thank you, Theron C. Bond, for responding to my request to get help for the moderators, because we wanted to make sure that the information was correct and accurate. And you were my source, and I'm looking forward to having a conversation with you on November 3rd. We're going to meet to talk about what happened on the elections. I told y'all Theron C. Bond is the GOAT. But now here's the thing. The Shelby County absentee ballot location to hand deliver an absentee ballot, know this, It has to still have a stamp on it. The process for completion still has to be followed in terms of how you put one envelope in the other and address it. All of those things and protocols and policies are still in place. However, comma, you now can take your ballot with a stamp to hand deliver it to the post office for Shelby County in Bartlett, Tennessee. So I want you to know that because that is important. Now, here's the thing. People who have been on every, y'all know I watch CNN as my news source. I trust them. They're a trusted source. They've been a trusted source for me for years. They have had interviews with people who have come on and said, I wouldn't trust the USPS to mail my ballot. I'm not telling you that. What I'm telling you that, what I am saying is, if you have a mail-in ballot and you want to complete it and put a stamp on it, but you want it to be hand delivered, you now have that option at the Bartlett post office. Okay. Let's see, Azola, you said more people have done early voting in Texas than in 2016. That is more than good news. That is really good news. That is great news. And you know what? I want to say that, Azola, and you can correct me on here, Cammy, if you're on here, D. I want to say that Texas, for the first time, much in the way that we're going to claim Georgia, Texas went from being solid red to being light pink to now being a toss-up, not in terms of the electoral college, but in terms of the voting. And the people in Texas are fed up. There are a whole host of black people, I posted this, that are fed up and fired up and are in line waiting to vote. I can tell you that when we get engaged, we make a difference. I've been saying this for months. We have the power. This is our vote. This is our country. When we don't get engaged, when we allow ourselves to be apathetic to the process and the plight, we then surrender our power, right? So now that is a perfect segue unintentionally to the third thing. Lil Wayne. All right. I posted this just before because so we've had conversations about 50 Cent, right? We've had conversations about what's the other person's name? Ice Cube. That was more recent. We've absolutely talked about Kanye West and how they've been caught up in the propaganda and have been used, right? So we exhausted. We knew Kanye West early on was an issue, and he's on the ballot in some states. We knew that 50 Cent was solely making his point about Trump because of the money that he makes, because of the tax bracket that he's in. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm going to actually post so that I won't have to tell you and somehow misconstrue it. You'll be able to hear it from the horse's mouth. I'm going to hope that I can share, and it may be in its entirety, and I'll tell you what time to start watching for Roland Martin, who is also a wealth of information, provides historical background to the one man who was in the 1800s, did the very thing that 50 Cent has taken a position on. I understand now he's retracted because Chelsea Handler, of all people, had to say something to him. However, he is not excused. But now I want to tell you this. This dang on Lil Wayne, y'all, literally 17 hours ago, posted on Twitter, the 45, the occupant's favorite preferred platform of communications with the world, which is in and of itself ridiculous. But Trump had a meeting, or should I say Lil Wayne had a meeting with Trump. Foolishness. Yeah, Lil Wayne said, 50 Cent said he was joking. Did he? You know how just like Trump said he was joking about ingesting, help me, bleach, right? It's always a joke when people come back and give you pushback, right? It's like, oh, no, I was joking. I didn't really mean that. Now, Lil Wayne needs more than counseling. Lil Wayne needs detox. Lil Wayne needs counseling. And Lil Wayne needs Jesus. But now here's what I'm gonna say. This is what he said so that I can get this quote. Because in 2016 he was interviewed and he said some really disparaging comments about Black Lives Matter, which let me know then, okay, something's off. But here's what he said. Just had a great meeting with @real Donald Trump at POTUS. besides what he's done so far with criminal reform, the Platinum Plan is going to give the community real ownership. He listened to what we had to say today and assured he will and can get it done. Okay. How many of you know when I say Platinum Plan what I mean? How many of you know when I say criminal reform what I mean? Trump has absolutely no intention. He never has had any intention of doing anything for black people. Everything that Trump has done has been all about photo ops. It's been optics. It's been smoke and mirrors. It's been filibustering. He is absolutely like, okay, let me say it like this. So I won't have a soapbox moment. Let me say this. If you are in a position, and I'm speaking to the Lil Wayne fans right now, it is one thing to appreciate someone's musical talent. Okay, he's an artist. He's an entertainer. Period. Being an artist and an entertainer, much in the way that I would say about Ice Cube, does not, and I repeat, does not give you 100% authority to speak on behalf of black people when it comes to politics. Where are we getting this from? That you think the 50 cents, Puffy, Sean Combs, Sean Diddy Combs, and again, here, black men, all entertainers. We haven't heard anyone from a political perspective who has had a legitimate experience, expertise, any kind of exposure even to politics to be able to speak on behalf of black America. 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, Ice Cube, Sean Diddy Combs, you all do not speak for me. I don't need you to represent me. You are not a political force. You are not versed in politics. You don't know the laws. You don't have any idea what the jurisdiction is. You haven't even told people to register to vote. You know, years ago, campaigns back, 2-3 campaigns ago, Sean Combs did tell people vote or die. And now he's talking about, withholding the vote. Wrong. You don't represent me. Lil Wayne, please go have a conversation with somebody and find out for yourself what the Platinum Plan is. The Platinum Plan is not, first of all, it's barely a plan because it's barely a whole page. The Platinum Plan is nothing for Black America. The Platinum Plan is lip service. That's what it is lip service. And for you to stand up with your, give me a dang on break. And at this late game, you think you're not being a pawn, that you're not being used? Can anybody else recognize that Lil Wayne has allowed himself to literally be taken advantage of? And for what? So that you can make sure that you secure the money that you gain. And guess what? Black people, overwhelming majority of black people were the ones that bought into the music, entertainment, art, talent that you had and put you in that economic bracket. Really? This is what you're doing? Lil Wayne, don't get in a picture and say what he's going to do for me. Trump is not going to do a doggone thing for me. Trump has already shown us and proven to us and told us. That's the one thing I will give him credit for. The man, I say that loosely because I think he's a demon, has literally never made a secret about where he stood. He said, I'm going to make America great. Okay, when he says that, what he's saying is he wants to go back to the 30s and 40s. Not even, people thought even the 50s. No, he wants to go back long before people even had opportunities and rights. Okay, so then he turns back and he says he wants to keep America great. No, wrong. Okay, D, what you say? They're allowed to hold an opinion. I'm allowed to side eye those opinions, but welcome to have them. Okay, you know what? Let's go there. I'm grateful that you offered that, because here's the thing. You know what? You're right. Much in the way that you and I can voice our opinions and we can share them, I have absolute 100% respect for their opinion, D. I really, truly do. Here's the challenge that I have. When you are in a position where your opinion becomes influence, because you know that you have a certain amount of followers, and because of that, the power that you have to influence people, you use that platform. And I think then you're misguiding people, because the very people that 50 Cent and Ice Cube and Lil Wayne and Kanye West and Sean Diddy Combs are saying, you know, withhold your vote, that Black Americans, they got to promise to do something, they need to sign a contract with a Black American. No, those people are not regular Joe Americans. Those folks who have the right to have their opinions, and I agree with you, D, share your opinion and leave it. Don't get a group of people, Ice Cube, and say you're going to create a contract for Black America. You are not speaking for me. You are not speaking for me. You haven't taken the time to even do any research. You haven't met with the NAACP. You haven't talked to the Congressional Black Caucus. Heck, you ain't even talked to Pookie and Pork Chop to find out what they wanted. And I tell you one other thing I'm going to say about doggone Ice Cube. It made me mad as hell. And mad like a dog, not angry. I was infuriated. I was furious. I was livid. Any other adjective you want to use for mad. When here he is on this platform with his opinion, D, talking about the contract for Black America. Okay, well, you know what? That's great. You want to do something for Black America. You talking about getting things done. Well, how about this? He had the nerve, the unmitigated gall, to talk about, he put it out there and stood in the middle of the street, and whoever came by and offered him a ride is where he went. So he talked to the Trump camp. Okay, well, they used you, Ice Cube. They used you to say that you had worked with them on the platinum plan. Okay, then you sat back and took that, just like Lil Wayne. Y'all still looking like little puppets. But no, that wasn't enough. So you were upset because you said that the Democratic Party, that the Biden and Harris team said, we'll wait until after the election so we can have a chance to sit down with you and talk about what we want to do. Because there were some points that he made in this contract for Black America that were already aligned with some of the things that the Congressional Black Caucus had already put into place. Okay, now watch, wait this, wait. His opinion, D, okay? His opinion was, when offered the opportunity to have a conversation and sit down with other entertainers in the Black community, with Kamala Harris, Senator Kamala Harris extended an invitation to Ice Cube to say, we understand that you have, thoughts and concerns. You've taken the time to create this contract. You're doing, what you think is your due diligence. You have your opinions. We want to hear them. Take time to have a conversation with us. This Negro said he got better things to do. Hello, somebody. He said, I'd rather get things done. Okay. Kamala Harris, Senator Kamala Harris, soon to be Vice President Kamala Harris, is arguably the most powerful Black woman in the country right now. She is in a position, even as senator, to help impact some meaningful change and give some legs to the thing that you got on the table. All right. As the vice president, when she becomes the vice president, she would be the person that you would likely, she and her administration or someone from the administration, from the Biden-Harris administration, will likely be the parties with which you will need to converse. I'm going to say this, and I'm not wishing ill on Joe Biden, okay? But let's face facts. It's a 4-year term. In the event he is in a position where he can no longer serve in the capacity of the President of the United States, President number 46, we already know Kamala Harris will be the President of the United States, right? So what the heckle, Jekyll and Hyde is Ice Cube talking about? You want to get things done. Have you told anybody to register to vote, Ice Cube? Have you had anybody check their registration status, Ice Cube? Have you gotten behind and supported and put any funding dollars, put any campaign? Oh, have you put any of the $1.7 million in payroll protection money that you got from the government behind any candidate? Hello, somebody. Didn't know that? Yes. So while Ice Cube is doing all this talking about I want to get things done. What you do with the $1.7 million you got from the PPP? Have you told it? Have you gotten behind any black candidate? We have black candidates all over the country, y'all, that are in Senate races who we need, desperately need to win and make those positions Democratic seats. Mike Espy in Mississippi. Say the names with me so that y'all can share these with your folks. Cindy Hyde, she is a nightmare. She is a disaster of a human being. She is right there in the legion with Trump. Mike Espy needs to be in Mississippi. We are desperate for the state of Mississippi to get some leadership and guidance that represents the state. Ice Cube, Lil Wayne. Y'all been to Mississippi? Anybody? Did y'all go to Mississippi and support Mike Espy? I didn't. If you did, I missed it. What did you? Wait, what? Oh, okay. No, nothing. Contract for Black America. Tennessee, we have Haggerty, who is again in the Legion. We have a black woman, Marquita Bradshaw, who is running against Bill Haggerty. Have you heard Lil Wayne say we want to get the Senate? Does he even know what the dang on Senate is? Somebody, anybody. And here's the question I have for you. Jamie Harrison, do what you can in Georgia. Go to his site and offer up $5. Give what you can. It is desperate that this man wins that seat. When I say this, it's just little short fat black me. But I got a handful of folks sitting here with me now. I'm gonna put this on YouTube and maybe another handful will see it. But when we talk about opinions, the Ice Cubes, and Sean Diddy Combs, the Lil Waynes and 50 Cents, their opinion goes out and millions of people listen to their opinion. And because people don't take the time to process stuff and think for themselves, that are followers, they think it's the gospel doggone truth. So they just blindly follow that opinion, D. And when they do that, it puts us all in jeopardy. Because here's the thing that I love that Roland Martin said this, and when I heard, I was like, that makes complete sense. You don't see in the white community, you don't see celebrities and entertainers speaking up, with the exception of a couple who are actively engaged. Like Mike Moore has been engaged in politics for years. Right now we have the baby in Michigan, Daniels, who is doing campaigns and ads for the Democrats in the state of Michigan and for Biden. But Jeff Daniels is who I'm talking about. But now you don't see on a regular basis, you don't have interviews on CNN where someone has called, Jennifer Aniston to come in and say, tell us what you think about the position for the bill that's about to go, up for vote. Because it doesn't happen. Black America, wake the 2020 up. Wake the 2020 up. Get your 2020 up and pay attention, because what we have going on right now, this whole thing where we letting celebrities and entertainers speak on our behalf and stand up with these nincompoops. I'm trying to keep this PG-13, y'all. It's hard because it's so frustrating to me when I sit back and watch with the limited amount of invested time that I put into this. It makes me absolutely cringe to think that somebody, first of all, Lil Wayne, you're the poster child for somebody who wants you. Trump couldn't be more happy to have you in his legion. Now, he was cheesing from ear to ear. He was a Cheshire cat smiling to have you. His thumb was right up. He was like, got this nigga on. Y'all got it good. Okay, get this angle. Get this angle. It's ridiculous. What are you doing to help your people? Come on, Lil Wayne. I know you like your purple and all of that, but you got to think about something other than yourself. You are not in a position where you have been in that position so long where you have forgotten. Have you? Because see, when we allow ourselves to forget, Because I can guarantee you, Trump didn't forget you black. That's why he had your black ass up there anyway, taking pictures and smiling and cheesing for the cameras. That's why they had Clarence Thomas put the doggone confirmation hearing for the ABC, or no, ACB, with her evil self. They stop being tokens and pawns. We need to wake up. It's as simple as that. What y'all got to say? Because I'm about to go. I tried to do 30 and 3 and 30, and I've done it. It's 12:01, and I'm just going to implore you. If you have not yet voted November 3rd, if you still have early voting in your state, please take advantage of it. On November 3rd, I anticipate there will be record numbers going to the polls. You do not want to wait. If you have early voting, when it gets toward the end of early voting, the numbers tend to, die down, because like me, people want to go the minute they had the opportunity and the right to vote. They wanted to exercise it, because we were there. Sweetie and I were there that morning. They opened up. We were there before they opened, so we could make sure we cast our ballot, and I'm grateful we did. But you take advantage of this opportunity. This is our future. Really, our lives are at stake. And if you don't think they are, think again, because we're getting ready to see. Don't be fooled by what the Supreme Court is doing right now either, because that's all smoke and mirrors too. The fact that they're letting some things go is just to get you to believe that they're gonna be, oh, it's not gonna be so bad. Amy Coney Barrett has not even weighed in yet. Just wait, she will. And when she does, for those of you who have not voted, for those of you who are not engaged in your state and local elections, don't say a mumbling word. Don't say a mumbling word when you or your family members are not in a position to have coverage, when you are, God forbid, experience some sexual assault and need an abortion. God forbid that you have contracted COVID, which will then become a pre-existing condition that you may have as underlying, because we don't know what all COVID does. We know it has brain clots. We know it creates brain fogs. We know all kind of stuff that happens now, but we don't have any idea, since Trump swears that we're near the end. Okay, and that's just like when he said it was just gonna be, it was like a miracle. And Easter, everybody go to church because it'll be over. Okay, did he mean Easter 2022? Because he surely didn't mean Easter 2020. Y'all wake up. And now I'm going to get up. I got other stuff to do. And I'm going to tell you, you do too, because it's a phenomenal Friday. But I appreciate y'all being here with me. And I'm going to tell you something. I want you to make sure you tune in on Monday, y'all. Why? Monday's going to be like the best live at lunch I've ever had, because I'm going to have all of my babies that are available to be with me on Monday. It's called the special edition of Live at Lunch Family Business, where I will be joined by my niece and nephews who have their own businesses and are going to have an opportunity to share with you some of the wonderful things that they are working on, have already done, and that are coming up. And I'm so absolutely grateful and blessed and just doggone Aunt TT proud of all of them, and know that you're going to be impressed with them too. It's a great group, and I'm not just saying that because they're literally mine. And yes, my siblings, they're my siblings' children, but they're my babies. So y'all make sure you tune in live at lunch on Monday at 11:30. We're going to have a special family business version of Live at Lunch, and I can't wait to share my babies with you and with the world. And until we get to that, make sure, yep, you know what I'm going to say? Oh, wait. I got to give you a cyber hug. I love you. You matter to me, and there's nothing you can do about it. I want to thank you for spending time with me. Make sure you share this. Let other people know that I'm here. Like this page. Go to YouTube and like my page. I need subscribers, y'all. I want to monetize that thing. And make sure that you make every day amazing, and absolutely above all else, live like it's a gift. You know why? Because it truly is. We thank God for it. I thank God for you. I'll see you on Monday.